what is it that's holding you back, keeping you from becoming everything that God has created you to be, living your purpose and reaching your destiny? Is it self doubt, feeling that you don't measure up to others? Perhaps it's fear or lack of resources, offenses and challenges, maybe even past or current circumstances. Well, I want you to know that these are pathologies, diseases of the mind that negatively impact how you think and perceive things that invade your everyday life. You can overcome these peculiarities and become conquerors, living in the purpose that God has for your life. The Bible in Philippians 4:13 teaches us, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Hello, I'm your coach, Dee Johnson, and I'm going to share with you on how you can overcome these pathologies and be all that God created you to be on today's Watering the Seed. Hello, welcome to Watering the Seed, where we explore the journey of personal growth and transformation. I'm your coach, Dee Johnson, and today we're diving deep into a topic that resonates with many of us, the self imposed limitations that can feel like invisible prisons in our lives. Have you ever those limitations that can feel like invisible prisons in our lives? Have you ever felt stuck as if you're moving in circles but never making real progress? Or maybe you have big dreams securely tucked away because you fear negative thoughts and criticisms from others, or old habits keep them at bay. Hey, listen, you're not alone here. See, many of us often create obstacles for ourselves without even realizing we're doing it. So today I'd like to unpack what these limitations look like, how to identify with them, and most importantly, how to break free from practical strategies and encouraging insights to help you step outside of your comfort zone and embrace the exciting possibilities that have been knocking at your door. So, whether you're looking to make a big change or simply curious about the journey of self discovery, you've tuned into the right place. Let's get started on potential on today's Watering the Seed. Now, let's first start out by defining what self imposed limitations are. Self imposed limitations refer to the limits we place on ourselves, often stemming from our thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors. These limitations, fears, or deep rooted habits, which are common examples of self imposed limitations and can prevent us from reaching our full potential. Essentially, they're mental barriers that can limit your growth and opportunities in many aspects of your life. For instance, negative thoughts are a struggle for many of us. You know, um, that inner discussion that diminishes our self-worth, phrases like I'm not good enough or I can't do this, and the negative thoughts of fear and doubt that we allow others to impose on us sink in and validate our negative self-worth. These can create powerful mental barriers, making it very difficult to take on new challenges and seize opportunities. Fear of failure or rejection, which can be extremely us from pursuing goals or trying new experiences. For instance, you might avoid public speaking due to an overwhelming fear of being judged and then missing out on opportunities for personal and professional growth. This reminds me of an experience, but I observed it. A few years ago, I worked at a company and I was training two of my assistants in HR manager roles. One of them desired to be an HR manager sooner than later. So she was basically in the baby stages of her training, but well on her way. I would give her small projects to help advance her skills, and she was doing quite well. But public speaking was one of the skills she severely lacked. So I gave her an assignment, a very small assignment where she had to deliver a short speech to our employees at a workforce meeting. The speech was very small. It was just an informational piece that would have taken her less than 5 minutes, maybe even less than 3 minutes. When she was given the opportunity to deliver this information, she pushed back to the point where she fully retreated. She was literally in tears. The fear was overwhelming, and unfortunately, she didn't deliver the information. I found this to be quite our new higher endurance testing program, where she had to speak to groups of anywhere from 3 to 12 people at a time. And she did it quite well, never hesitating. If she's listening to this podcast, I'd like to say, I hope you push past that fear. I hope you push past that fear. I still believe in you. And I pray that you found your way and achieved your dream of becoming the HR manager you purpose to be. God bless you. Now, another mental barrier that can limit your growth and opportunities are your habits. Certain habits can also act as limitations. For example, procrastination. Procrastination can lead to missed deadlines and increased stress, causing one to experience a cycle of self-doubt. Similarly, an unhealthy lifestyle might prevent someone from achieving their impose a negative self-image on themselves. And figuratively speaking, these self-imposed limitations effectively create a metaphorical prison that confines individuals to their comfort zones. When one constantly succumbs to negative thoughts, fears, and counterproductive habits, they restrict. This prison can feel secure, but ultimately it stifles creativity and resilience and also steals your joy. So get out of those comfort zones. Breaking free from this prison requires self-awareness and a willingness to challenge the limitations. By that fuel them, we can begin to create a more spacious and fulfilling life. Facing fears, reframing negative thoughts, and replacing detrimental habits with healthier ones are essential steps towards liberation from one's self-imposed barriers. Now let's get to work. Let's get to work on freeing ourselves from this prison of our mindsets. You may want to grab a pen and paper for this session. And so if you're ready, let's get started. By identifying some of the barriers that may be holding you back, because taking the time to recognize what's holding you back is super important for your growth. So let's start with some friendly questions to help with reflection. Ask yourself, what fears are holding you back? Okay? Think about the fears that might be stopping you from taking the might think. Please realize that conquering fear is a journey that begins with acknowledging and understanding what you're feeling. And by acknowledging your fears, you might find that they aren't as scary as they seem. So take a moment to sit with your emotions and identify the source of your fear. Instead of pushing it away, allow yourself to experience it. This helps to lessen its power. It takes away the power of the fear so that you can get over it. And it has no over you, okay? Next, break down the fear into smaller, manageable components. For instance, if you're afraid of public speaking, like my assistant, first, you may find it comforting to know that public speaking is a fear that is shared amongst millions of others. And you may know actors, singers, motivational speakers, even myself. I have a huge fear of public speaking. So just know that you are not alone. We are not alone. Now, to break down the fear into smaller manageable parts, you might focus first on researching your topic. You can do this online by using your preferred search engine, going to the library and reading books, watching videos on YouTube, and even taking an online course. I actually took a free self-guided course, really helpful. I'll leave the website in the description for those of you who might be interested. Okay. All right. And then after you've done that, then after you've researched the topic and or taken a course, whichever you prefer, whatever is best for you, or whatever you feel will work for you. You want to practice speaking in front of a mirror and eventually speaking in front of a friend or family member. And by tackling these smaller steps, the process feels less overwhelming and more achievable. Also, surrounding yourself with supportive individuals is crucial. Share your fears with trusted friends or family members who can encourage and uplift you. If you can't find anyone in your circle that you can trust to be supportive, then join a group. There are public speaking groups in your community. I found a group called Toastmasters through a Google search. I just typed in the search public speaking courses near me, and it pulled up a list of public speaking courses. Some, had a price. They cost. Some were free. Had a price. They cost. Some were free. And with the Toastmasters, it does have a membership fee, an annual membership fee. However, the first visit is at no cost to you. So the initial visit was free for me. I thought I would go ahead and check it out. So I did. Just to see what it had to offer me. I didn't expect to be an active participant that evening, but the friendly and comforting environment, because the meeting was at a library, it made it so easy to participate. I ended up participating in the full session that night. Their support perspective and that perspective motivated me to keep pushing forward. It really was truly inspiring. Now, once you have your support system in place, practice self-compassion. Having self-compassion is something that I talk about in many of my subject matters because it helps us to adopt a positive mindset and navigate life's challenges with kindness towards ourselves. When we practice self-compassion, we acknowledge our imperfections and treat ourselves with the same understanding we would offer a friend or a family. It reduces feelings of anxiety and self-doubt. It promotes resilience and encourages us to take risks and learn from failures. Ultimately, self-compassion allows for personal growth and a healthier relationship with ourselves, leading to increased emotional well-being and happiness. Experiences fear at some point, and it doesn't define your abilities or your self-worth. Celebrate each step you take, no matter how small, whether it's completing a task that scares the bejeebies out of you or simply speaking up in a meeting. Acknowledging your progress fuels your confidence and encourages you to continue moving forward. Lastly, equip yourself with tools and techniques to manage fear as it overcomes you. Weak stomach, shallow breathing, shaking hands, weak knees, or however you experience your fear. Use techniques like deep breathing, visualization, or mindfulness to calm yourself. One deep breathing technique that's been found to be effective is the 4-7-8 breathing technique. For those of you who haven't heard of, through your nose for a count of 4. So inhale deeply through your nose for a count of 4. Hold your breath for a count of 7. And exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 8. Repeat this cycle a few times to feel more centered and calm. One of the popular visualization techniques used is the safe place visualization, where you close your eyes and imagine a place where you feel completely safe and at peace. Focus on the details in your vision. If you're at the beach, what do you see? If you're staring at the sky, is it blue with white puffy clouds and rays of sun peeking through, or is it clear blue skies and sunshine all around you? Focus on what you hear. Are there kids laughing and playing music, or maybe you hear the sound of the wind against the ocean causing ocean waves? Focus on those small details and feel yourself in that space. Spend a few minutes there to alleviate the feeling of fear. Positive outcome visual, what has not yet happened. Most of us do. We picture the worst outcome and how we will get through it. But usually what we fear just never happens. So instead of visualizing the worst possible outcome, try flipping that. Picture a scenario where you face your fear, but everything goes really well. Imagine the feelings of success, relief, and just celebration, which can help shift the whole mindset of you thinking things are going to fall apart. Okay, so try the positive outcome visualization. And then mindfulness. There's a mindfulness technique. It's called mindfulness 5 4 3 2 1. It's a grounding exercise where you identify 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things, 1 thing you can taste. This exercise can help bring your awareness back to the present moment. The body scan is also a mindfulness meditation practice involving scanning your body for pain, tension, or anything out of the ordinary. It can help you feel more connected to anything out of the ordinary. It can help you feel more connected to your physical and emotional self. You can do this by lying down or sitting, and then you start by closing your eyes and then taking a few deep breaths. And then start at your head and slowly move your attention down to your, or vice versa, whatever makes you comfortable. But you want to focus on the sensations in each part of your body. So notice any pain, tension, or anything out of the ordinary. Be curious and open to what you're noticing, but don't try to change it. It's not for you to fix at that moment. It's just going through. And then gently release your focus on one area and move on to the next. So if you're focusing on your feet, focus on that. Feel what your feet are feeling, and then gently release that, and then focus on your knees, and then you go to the next. When you're done, focus on breathing freely. Again, the body scan is a way to help you feel grounded, aware, and more connected to your body. So try one or try them all and see what works best for you. These techniques can be very effective in easing anxiety. These techniques can be very effective in easing anxiety and helping you stay grounded when fear arises. Remember that overcoming fear is a gradual process. Trust in your strength and resilience. You have the ability to face and conquer your fears. Okay, so let's move on. Ask yourself, are your worries influencing your choices? Have you noticed how worries can sometimes steer your decisions? I often tell my sons not to make decisions with their emotions because those emotions will more than likely steer them in the wrong direction, causing them to not make the best choice in that situation. This is not the same as trusting your gut feeling, which some may confuse with emotions. Trusting your gut is about making decisions based on an intuitive feeling, often described as a gut feeling, which is usually considered a more calm and considered response, while acting out in emotions means reacting impulsively and directly to strong emotions without taking time to process them, which can result in action or unhealthy behaviors that you may regret later. With that said, it's crucial to create a balance between following your instincts and taking the time to reflect. So, when your worries influences your choices, you might be because they make you anxious, and recognizing this can ultimately help you break free from those patterns. Try refraining from those anxious thoughts by taking these 9 important steps. I have 9 steps for you to try to refrain from that. First, you want to identify your worries. Down, you can express your thoughts and gain clarity about what's bothering you. Step 2, challenge those negative thoughts. Examine the validity of your worries by asking yourself if the worries are based on facts or assumptions. Sometimes we worry about things that never happen. We place worries on ifs never become a reality. Stop that. Stop. Don't do that. Deal with these things as they arise and counter those negative thoughts with positive affirmations and realistic outcomes. Instead of dwelling on negative possibilities, visualize successful and negative possibilities, visualize successful and positive results. This can shift your mindset and help you approach decisions with more optimism. Reframe your thinking. Reframe your thinking. Step 3, set worry time. This is some of you are thinking like, what? What does she mean by set worry time? How do I do that? Okay, this is how and why you should do it. Allocate a specific time each day dedicated to worrying. I know it sounds weird, but just try it. Set aside a time dedicated to worrying. When worries arise outside of this time that you set, remind yourself to wait until your designated worry period. It's like taking lunch break at work. You don't take lunch break whenever you feel like it, at least at most jobs. You feel like it, at least at most jobs. You wouldn't do that. You have a dedicated lunch break, and so that it doesn't interfere with anything else in the workplace, especially other employees' lunch breaks. You set aside that time the same way to worry, okay? I wouldn't set it to engage and sink into my worries, because what's going to be, it's going to be. That's really how I look at that. But anyway, remind yourself to wait until your designated worry period, because this can help limit the intrusion of worrying into your decision making abilities. When your worries pop up and you don't want them to, or when mine pop up and I don't want them to, I just say to myself, not doing things to focus on, and this is not the time for that. That's what I tell myself. So I try not to sit in my worries. And if they come, of course they come, but I don't stay there very long. I move on quickly. Okay. Step 4, focus on what you can control. Focus your attention on within your control. Taking proactive steps can reduce feelings of helplessness, dependency on others, and weakness. And it also empowers your decision making. Okay, so focus on what you can control. Step 5, practice mindfulness. Engage in the mindfulness exercise as Engage in the mindfulness exercise as I discussed earlier to help calm fear. The body scan and the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding exercise. They promote present moment awareness. Techniques like meditation, deep breathing, or yoga, I haven't tried yoga, but can also help quiet the mind and reduce the influence of worries. And then step 6, you want to seek feedback. Discuss your concerns with trusted friends. And I did say trusted because you can't trust everybody with your emotions, okay? So discuss your concerns with trusted friends or family members. They can provide, those that you can trust can provide different perspectives and help you to see things more rationally, which can mitigate fear-based decision making. All right. And then step 7, limit information overload. Sometimes excessive information can fuel worries. Set boundaries on how much news or social media you consume and focus on credible, balanced sources. Okay, all the information that we read on social media and hear in the day-to-day news, you would like it to be. So stay focused and try not to consume too much of any of this negative stuff that's out there. It really does put barriers in front of our our ability to move forward in our lives and in our purpose. Okay, so limit information and in our purpose. Okay, so limit information overload. And then 8, take breaks. If you find yourself stuck in a cycle of worry, take a break from this issue. Just take a break. Go for a walk. Engage in a hobby. I myself, I like to draw. Practice nails done or my feet done. So practice some self-care. I listen to motivational talks like watering the seed when I'm getting my nails done. So I just put my earbuds in and I stick my hands out and I hit start and I close. Nail tech do their job and I do my job by taking a break and relaxing. Taking a break allows distance and can lead to clearer thinking when you return to whatever it is that you're working on, okay, or worrying about. And then lastly, step 9, trust your gut. Sometimes you need to rely on your intuition. Remember the difference between trusting your gut and, acting out of emotion. You want to trust your gut. Okay, if you've done your research and considered your options, test the skills to make the right decision for yourself. Okay, and by implementing these strategies, you can reduce the impact of worries on your decision making process and approach challenges with a clearer and calmer mindset. So go for it. You've got this. All right, let's move on to question 3. What goals have you put on hold? Let's chat about the dreams you've put on the back burner. I know this is a touchy subject, but it's necessary to help you get out of your comfort zone and embrace the exciting possibilities that's been banging on your door with no answer from you. Besides, that's why you're still listening, right? So let's get to it. No shade, no shade. Now, what have you set aside and why? Writing these down can really help you see what you'd like to. Action steps can reignite your excitement and get you moving again. So here are a few steps you can take to get started. After you've written down those dreams or goals that were lost in the sauce, take these action steps to help revive and reignite them. Okay? All right. And reignite them. Okay? All right. Step 1, reflect on your dream or dreams by taking some time to think about what your dreams are and why those dreams are important to you. Write them down and visualize what achieving them would look like. Okay? What does that look like? Step 2, set clear goals. Break down your dreams into smaller achievable goals. We talked about this. This will make them feel more manageable and give you a clear path to follow. Step 3, create a vision board. Gather images and quotes and other items that represent your dreams and create a vision board. Place that vision board somewhere where you can see it daily so that you stay motivated. I write down little quotes myself. I have these little popsicle sticks that I purchased from the local craft store. I painted them black so they all look uniform, and I actually use them for bookmarkers. I write quotes on them in either silver marker or gold marker. You don't have to get ready if you stay ready. So on one side, I have, you don't have to get ready. And then on the other side of the stick, I wrote, if you stay ready. And that reminds me to stay ready. Always be prepared. Okay? And it motivates me. So that's one of the little quirky things that I do with the quotes. And then you have step 4, develop a plan. Outline the steps you need to take to achieve your goals. Set deadlines and create a timeline to keep yourself on track. Also do this. I have a to-do list that it's free with the Microsoft application. And so I use that to develop a plan and stay on task. Seek inspiration. Read books, watch videos, or listen late to your dreams. Surround yourself with positive influences. Step 6, take action. Start working on your goals, even if it's just a small step each day. Consistent progress will build momentum and excitement. So take action. Steps positive mindset and remind yourself of your progress. Celebrate small victories along the way. Step 8, connect with like minded people. Join groups or communities of people who share similar dreams and goals. Their support and encouragement can be invaluable. Learn, support, and encouragement can be invaluable. Learn and adapt. Be open to learning new skills and adapting your plan as needed. That's step 9. Challenges may arise, but they can also be opportunities for growth. So learn and adapt. And then step 10, again, practice self-care. Take care of your physical and mental well-being. A healthy body and mind will give you the energy and focus you need to pursue your dreams. Remember, it's never too late to chase your dreams. Stay committed and you'll find the excitement and forward. Now, mindfulness and visualization practices are really helpful. They give you the space to think about overcoming obstacles. However, journaling can be a great tool to uncover those personal barriers. Journaling is a powerful tool for uncovering your that may be holding you back. When you put pen to paper, you create a space to explore your thoughts and emotions deeply. It's kind of like sitting down with a magical pen and paper, and each word you write helps you sort through the chaos in your mind, revealing a little more about what might be holding you back. You know how our brains can sometimes feel like a jumbled up pile of dirty laundry? Well, writing it all down is like taking each piece of laundry after it's been washed, folding it neatly, and realizing, hey, this shirt doesn't even belong to me. It allows you to identify patterns and beliefs that you may not have noticed before. So, by regularly writing down your daily experiences, you're able to insight into what truly influences your decisions. Sometimes, just writing things out can pinpoint those troublesome barriers that you didn't even know were there. Plus, there's something pleasantly freeing about expressing yourself on paper. You get to write down it's between you, yourself, and you. This practice not only provides a safe outlet for self expression, but also empowers you to confront and overcome obstacles in your life. So grab your favorite pen and a quirky notebook. I have like this pink one with gold letters on it and flowers, and this pink one with gold letters on it and flowers, and I just love it. And grab your favorite notebook and dive in. You might be surprised at what you uncover and how it can lead you to personal growth and transformation. Remember, this journey is all about discovering and moving past what's in your way. So go ahead and get started on that. Journaling is an excellent tool to help you get through that. Okay, so I want to tell you guys a story. This is just it's a real life story, and I want to share it with all celebrities, leaders, even friends who we see as heroes. For me, there are many people that I admire, some who've reached celebrity status and others who are celebrities in their own right, but are not in the public eye. But what we often fail to realize is that regardless of their title professions, they're people just like us. They face barriers in their lives like fears and doubts and negativity, just like you and me. They've had their share of struggles and challenges just like you and me. In fact, many have shared their stories of adversities and how they overcame these difficulties that felt undefeatable. So, one of my personal favorite success stories is that of Anime Bullock, also known as the iconic queen of rock and roll, Tina Turner. Those who recognize her name, you know that this legendary superstar singer and performer is no longer with us, but her story and her music continues to live on. I admire her for her journey, which began in the small southern town of Brownsville, Tennessee. Tina was raised by her grandmother. Her mother moved to St. Louis, taking her older sister but leaving Tina behind. After her grandmother's death, she went to live with her mother and sister in the fast paced city, which was a stark contrast to the slow paced rural life she had known. Discovered her passion for singing, she was faced with significant challenges. She dealt with a mother who didn't understand her, a teenage pregnancy, and an abusive husband and manager, the iconic Ike Turner, who alleged to be Turner, who alleged to be womanizing, insecure, drug using, controlling, and narcissistic. But despite all the pain Tina endured, she and the Tina Turner band, achieved stardom under direction and Tina's electrifying and high energized performances. If you've never seen Tina Turner in concert, baby, I highly recommend it. You are in for a treat. And when I say A, I mean class A treat. Tina Turner, and she gives 150% in her performances. So if you haven't seen Tina Turner in concert, go to your local library, rent a DVD, go on YouTube. You might get a glimpse of one of her concerts. She's all over. So, glimpse of one of her concerts. She's all over. So, you have access to one of her concerts or one of her performances. So, treat yourself to a Tina Turner experience. Anyway, in the late 1970s, Tina broke free from this metaphorical prison of pain and barriers. Tina broke free from this metaphorical prison of pain and barriers that stagnated her from her personal growth. And this was said to have caused her depression, anxiety, drug use, and even drug overdose that could have claimed her life. She divorced her and launched a remarkably successful solo music career in the early 80s. In 1995, she moved to Switzerland with the love of her life, Mr. Erwin Bach, where she found solace and serenity there. She performed her 50th anniversary final performance in 2009 at the ripe age of 69. And when I say that it was awe electrifying, even at 69, this woman, she was just high energy packed. The performance was packed. The performance was outstanding. But in that same year, she suffered a stroke. And in 2013, she became a Swiss citizen, relinquishing her rights here in the U.S. as a citizen. And then shortly after that, she married. Tina suffered from health struggles. She had a stroke, kidney failure, and intestinal cancer. She preserved and spent her final decades in Switzerland living a full life until her death. Unfortunately, Tina Turner passed away in November 2023. But she left us with these inspiring words to live by. If you are unhappy with anything, whatever is bringing you down, get rid of it, because you'll find that when you free yourself, your true creativity, your true self comes out. This quote was shared in November 1986 in the issue of the Ebony magazine. So you see, everybody goes through struggles that stagnate our growth and throw us out of alignment with our purpose. Struggles and challenges, just like you and me, and some are still going through them today. Those words spoken by Tina Turner were very honorable and relevant given her struggles. And let's face it, life is too short for us to not live in our purpose. The purpose that brings us happiness, not live in our purpose. The purpose that brings us happiness and fulfillment. And this is why it is so important to align with your purpose. So let's review some practical steps to help identify and overcome your barriers, because taking actionable steps can make the process of overcoming your personal struggles and barriers more manageable and effective. Step 1, self-reflection. Set aside a quiet moment to reflect on your fears, worries, and goals. Use the questions discussed earlier as a foundation and write down your thoughts on what's holding you back. Step 2, journaling. Start a journal dedicated to your personal growth. Use it to record your reflections, insights, and any reoccurring thoughts. Writing can help you process emotions and identify patterns that might be influencing your choices. Make a list of your fears. Next to each one of your fears, note how those fears impact your life and decisions. This can make them feel more tangible and manageable. Challenge yourself to consider how you might ease or alleviate these fears. Step 4, alleviate these fears. Step 4, identify worry patterns. Keep track of situations where worry has influenced your choices and reflect on whether these worries were justified or if they were based on assumptions. This awareness can empower you. This awareness can empower you to reframe your thoughts in the future. Step 5, set specific goals. Review question number 3. What goals have you put on hold? And the steps we discussed throughout this discussion. Revisit you've put on hold. Break them down into small actionable steps. This makes them less overwhelming and provides a clear path to follow. And remember to celebrate each small victory along the way. Step 6, practice mindfulness. Incorporate mindful techniques into your routine. Review the body discussed earlier. Also, simple deep breathing and meditation exercises or even a short walk can help you center your thoughts, reduce anxiety, and gain perspective on your barriers. Step 7, visualize success. Spend a few moments each day visualizing yourself overcoming your barriers. Picture feels to be free from those obstacles. This can motivate you to take action. Step 8, seek support. Don't hesitate to reach out to friends, family, or professionals. Again and again, sharing your journey can bring fresh perspectives and encouragement. And sometimes talking it out can reveal solutions you hadn't even considered. Friends and family are like your personal cheerleaders. Their encouragement can make tough times a whole lot easier and help you feel connected and understood. Also, be a source of encouragement for others, because there are so many simple ways to lift other people up. And by encouraging yourself and encouraging others, it helps you to encourage yourself. At least that's what works for me. So just being there to listen or sharing a kind word, celebrating their wins, and offering help when things get tough and create a warm, supportive atmosphere. By following these practical steps, you'll be well on your way to identifying and overcoming your personal barriers. Embrace the journey and remember that every little step counts. We're all in this together. So in conclusion, I like to just say sometimes we unknowingly create little barriers in our lives that hold us back. These might be negative thoughts, fears, or even just habits that feel comfortable, but can also keep us from growing. It can be are my worries driving my choices? Am I sticking with what's familiar instead of exploring new possibilities? And while stepping out of our comfort zones can feel a little scary, it also opens up exciting possibilities and opportunities. So by challenging those self-imposed limits and embracing change, we can break free and discover a vibrant life filled with potential. Let's encourage each other to step outside those boundaries and see what amazing things can happen and what amazing things await us. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Watering the Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Watering the Seed. If you enjoyed today's discussion, please subscribe, share with friends, and join me next week as we explore another path to personal growth and fulfillment. I'm your coach, Dee Johnson, and remember, you have the power to cultivate a life aligned with your. I love you, be good, and keep growing.